How am I looking? All good.
You're matching with the ambient lighting.
Yeah, this is my favorite blazer.
Really?
Yeah, and the shirt is matching the ambient.
Yeah, it is.
I'm all prepared.
Hey, listen, fun fact.
Yeah.
The first ever automobile, like the first ever car to ever make it to India. It was a Benz
In 1800s.
Yeah, before you were born. Even you were born.
Of course. And today we happen to be in the latest iteration, you can say, of Mercedes-Benz, which is the EQS. Why do we happen to be in an EQS?
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. We are in a Mercedes. We're heading to Mercedes to meet the head of Mercedes.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more episode here of Meet the Leaders with the man at the top, Santosh Iyer. Guten Tag, Herr Santosh. Wie geht es Ihnen?
Sehr gut. Someone. Only the two of you understand German. I'm sure the other people watching don't. I don't. So I think I'm wearing a blazer. I just wanted to show off. I make a good first impression. I know we're a German manufacturer.
Okay, so why don't you make this?
Mercedes on a roll. A juggernaut. Unstoppable roll. First car ever in India, like ever. Mercedes-Benz. Today, biggest or luxury car maker. How do you guys do it?
What's the secret sauce to domination?
The secret sauce is our customers. The more you understand them and give them what they want, which is desirable cars, well-equipped cars, and the latest cars, right from the long wheelbase E-Class only for India to the first locally produced EV, which is the EQS. As long as you listen to customers and give what they want, I think our job is done, and hopefully we continue the role.
Is that the reason why India loves Mercedes? I mean, we love Mercedes. His love for Mercedes is a little over the top. For example, all the cars behind you is what he can name. Can you really do that?
Yeah.
Not surprising.
More time me.
Let's go.
Black SLK, silver S63, white S-Class 500, black B-Class, red E-Class Cabriolet, silver or grey CLS, second row, black G500, black GL, black ML, white A-Class with the AMG Sport Pack, again silver E-Class Cabriolet, CLA, silver. On the third row on the bottom, that's a G500 square in orange. Facelift GL, E-Class 2212, SLS AMG SL, and AMG GT S from the wheels. And
Wow.
SLS and G Black.
It's unreal really how much India loves Mercedes.
Is it fair to say that Mercedes-Benz today has the largest model lineup of any automaker in India?
Yeah, we have not mapped with the mass manufacturers, but of course in the luxury segment, with a combination of 14 cars that we locally produce in Pune and around 20 odd CBUs that we get, I think we have one of the largest collection.
Is it in the pursuit of giving the customer what they want, as you started out saying? Is India the only right-hand drive AMG manufacturing place then for the world?
Yes, you can say we make some maybe in Malaysia, Vietnam also for some other reasons. In India, most of the luxury customers also go abroad a lot, travel. They have this, the desire and the need for a certain trim, a certain option, and that we can only give via the CBU routes. The plant in Pune is really flexible. So in the same line, we can make a SUV, a sedan, an EV, a petrol engine car, a diesel engine car. And this something really helps us to make 14 cars right from an A-Class to an S-Class Maybach. And that's the kind of flexibility we have with this production.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. The Maybach, again, I think India is the only production base for Maybach outside Germany.
Outside of Germany, yes.
We've got Maybach, we've got EQS now, we've got AMG. What's next? Because I think it's all encompassing, isn't it?
Yeah, from a product portfolio, we are always evolving. Also globally, the direction is clear that we will be an all-EV company by 2030. We have an installed capacity of 20,000 cars going up to 40,000. We will be able to scale up production as and how the market is developing.
Oh, wait, hang on. Now it's my turn to ask a question. A couple of years ago, I think you didn't have number one position for a while, and then you've snatched it back. Was supply chain one of the great issues because of which you lost that number one position?
No. I think for the last 8 to 9 years, we are clear number one in India. We lost number one at a period of 2008-9, at that early ages when we had new competitors coming to the market. Customers wanted to check out, which is natural. And that's also the time that gave us to really check and revisit the India story, saying what do we now really need to do specifically for India? The long wheelbase E-Class, to get such a car, right-hand drive, India's only market in the world to do that. I think you must have also heard about our direct-to-consumer model. That also comes from the deep insight that consumers prefer no haggling kind of a deal in a luxury business. From a question mark whether this will bring our business down to a question mark where we have increased in India, the answer lies in the data.
Direct to consumer model that Santosh is speaking of, by the way, is it's centralized pricing. Any dealer that you go to, the pricing remains the same. And you're the only car manufacturer doing this.
Yes, we are the only manufacturer, and I'm proud to say India was one of the first market to do this. Now Australia has gone live, New Zealand went live, UK went live on 1st of Jan. Germany goes live this next couple of months, and I think this is the model I would say Mercedes-Benz globally would like to transition.
Right.
You mentioned very briefly about, a few years ago, your core sort of strategy was not giving cut price models, but higher spec models. I mean, we've seen that with the AMG packs on cars. We've seen that with selection of very, very cool looking wheels. Wheels are very important to me, at least. Because a Mercedes sort of car from say 5 years ago was an equivalent luxury brand. The Merc is normally a more expensive car to buy in the used car market.
So a lot of customers say, hey, some competitors is offering me X discount. They are more cheaper. But when you look at the total cost of ownership, I keep saying we are much cheaper because generally people keep cars for 3 to 5 years and then they rotate. At that point of time, our residual values are definitely higher. I just met somebody, who had a GLC and it seems they bought it around say 50 to 53 lakhs. And today, after 3 years of usage and clocking 40,000 kilometers, they are able to get again 52 lakhs. Again, one of the secret sauce is the strong desirability of the car leading to better residual value, leading to better market shares.
Okay, I think we'll come to your questions about you now.
So, with a little bit of introduction to the young audience here, thank you for tuning in to Meet the Leaders. We are meeting the leader here. Santosh is with us. Less of business questions and more of getting to know Santosh as if we were to work with him every day. And I was talking to his team today. I was trying to get some inputs on how you are as a person, etc. One of the key attributes that has stuck with me there is that you're very, very, very transparent. Is that a leadership quality or is that the need of the hour at Mercedes? Because you're also doing centralized pricing. Were you instrumental in driving that because of your transparency principles?
See, firstly, we have a fantastic team. I am in this company now for 14 odd years and I have grown up the ranks also in the company, worked with almost all the colleagues. But fundamentally, I feel trust begets trust. So the moment you start trusting a person, they start trusting you better. And the fundamental need to build trust is transparency. And once you lend that, I think you get much more back. And then the colleagues also trust more and they are ready to go that extended mile to do anything that the organization needs.
From Vice President Sales and Marketing to Managing Director and then CEO of Mercedes. Firstly, congratulations on the new role.
Thank you.
What's the journey been like and where was the start point? What was your first job?
Wow. So, I was out of college and then I used to help my dad. We had a small business. I still have that small clipping of a classified ad saying walk-in interview. It was a company called Avery, which sells weighing machine. I went straight there. My turn came in. I cleared first round, second round. And in the third round, I still remember my first boss, Jitendra Nigam. He told me, Santosh, I can live with you, but this is Avery. This is a British multinational company and my boss would prefer a tie. So I went back out and then in Fort in Bombay, those guys selling on the road ties, etc. I said, let me know, quickly get one, let me give a shot. So it's an investment with my first job and let me see. And then, of course, I was selected for a year or so and that's my first entry into a corporate world. After a year or so, I lost my dad at an early age in that period and then that was a defining moment in my career. And I had a very good friend of mine in Nepal. They are into a large business house and I went into entrepreneurship mode. They were also distributors for Yamaha, two-wheeler bikes. That's how I came to automotive and I started loving it. But one fine day, again, I said, Bombay is my route. I need to come back India. Then, of course, I joined Yamaha in India, responsible for sales. Then I moved on jobs to Toyota, then a short stint in Ford, 14 years here. So a journey which started from a hardcore selling job, then moving on to marketing, to different functions. Also in MB, I've done corporate affairs, customer services, parts management, and the work.
That's insane. Almost compels me to ask Santosh. This journey has been over a span of how many years?
24 years.
It's insane. In 24 years, I don't know what we have.
I was 10.
Who's your inspiration in having done so much? Has there been an inspiration as a person?
No, firstly, for me, I am thankful to always get very good bosses as my leaders. They all mentored, they all supported me. They say you can select a job, but not your boss. So to even get the right bosses, is you selected both, I thought.
I hope so.
And yeah, so I think that was fortunate enough. But from an inspiration, clearly, it's my dad. He was a motor neuron. He had a very rare disorder, and still he fought life. Also, my mom, really supported. So for me, when I look at their upbringing, what they have done in their life, how they struggled, it's really an inspiration. Because they could have also given up on life, but they ensured we got the education and gave us that entire freedom, to do different things. My formative years played a very big role. So that combined with very good colleagues and bosses I had over the many years, I think really helped me shape my career.
What does this mean, like where you are now today, your title? I mean, for some people, titles aren't really important. What they do is, but what does the title mean to you, Santosh?
I think this title has a combination because generally chairman, managing director, CEO title is one. But of Mercedes-Benz India, when you add that, I think that's quite, I realized a bit more once I got into the show. I think it brings a lot of attention, a lot of focus. And personally, sometimes I don't like it because I am much more private person. I like to be on my own. And also there's an expectation from them, the way you are perceived. So in your private space as well. So that's something a bit more conscious. One needs to also represent the brand. One needs to be careful. But otherwise, as I said, this is home for me. 14 odd years, grown up with the company. Yeah, I am enjoying it. But
I was planning to ask for a selfie right at the end of this. Can I still proceed with that?
come on.
Okay. All right. I have some more questions. Having achieved so much and the journey that you narrated us, do you think it's normal to get nervous, and do you get nervous ever?
Not really. My name is Santosh, which is in the Indian says happiness. I won't say I don't take stress. It'll be not right. Or I should not say I don't get nervous. But on the personal side, sometimes there may be any challenges, etc. But otherwise, on the professional side, I take it cool.
So I guess a more of a personal question. What does your day look like? Because see, for example, I know I sleep super late. I know he.
Why are you even bringing you in the picture? Are you a 4 a.m. club guy or a 5 a.m. club guy? Or does it start at 2:30?
I start around 5:30 in the morning, basic level of exercises, then get back to office, be here till evening, but have an early dinner. And then I spend some time with my kids and also with my wife, going for 4 to 5 kilometers of walk every evening.
Wow.
That's a routine. So that's the standard protocol, but too much travel. So you never can maintain, an ideal calendar every day.
Right.
But that's what I at least strive to do.
You like traveling though?
I love it. I feel somebody said that traveling and reading are the two things which make men wiser. Reading I love, but I don't get the time. But traveling, I can always do it. Therefore, I am able to enjoy what I do.
Well, sometimes our days are very similar.
You guys are all late night owls. I know that.
Yeah.
I know. I never call anybody from the press in the morning, neither text. I don't get a message back. So it's around after 11 and the day starts.
Okay, let's get back. I think that lineup there is so compelling. I have to ask you, what's been your most memorable, well actually 2 questions, most memorable launch for India, and then your absolute all-time favorite Mercedes-Benz?
Wow. The most memorable launch is when I was doing my marketing job and we decided we will get the Gullwing, the SLS. I think that was an inspiration. For me, this connect with the brand when I joined this company, this car is responsible, and of course, Michael Schumacher. I think I still remember the commercial where he did this in the tunnel, and that's something so nostalgic. And that raises goosebumps. That really brought me much more closer to the brand. And then the second one, the most favorite car, I would say for me is the C63 AMG, naturally aspirated. I still feel 204. Whenever I retire, I will still buy it at that time from the market and keep it in for me as a personal car, because that has all the ingredients that I need, at least personally.
You know, funny you said this because both these cars have gone up in value so exponentially in the last few years because, the big 6.2s and naturally aspirated V8 and stuff like that. The AMG journey in India has been, crazy because I think it's the highest selling performance brand in the country.
Yeah, this was the challenge when we discussed about AMG in India, and we set up this AMG driving academy in the Booth circuit, and we were charging customers. We were not doing it free. And I saw that slots were getting filled up. That clearly shows if somebody was buying 75,000 rupees worth of a slot to drive on a Booth circuit on an AMG car, this guy can any day buy the cars because they are enthusiasts. To a very matured audience, it is understated. You look at an E53 AMG, at a distance it's an E-Class. So you are not now shouting with a color or with something saying I'm a different performance car enthusiast. It's still understated, but you are enjoying your drive and you are done. So this job I think the AMG does much better than any traditional sports car brands, which is the case. There is a segment very much in India who love their cars, who love their machines, and they want to be also a bit understated than being as flamboyant. So AMG fits in perfectly there.
True. See that, Cyrus? Not everyone is flamboyant.
I mean, today you are dressed flamboyant.
No, I'm just dressed in a blazer. Santosh here, if I can make a small little request off the camera. Cyrus being the editor hops all the invites, car reviews. If you can instruct your team to have one emotional tour invite come to us.
You want to be in the CC or in the 2?
In the tours. Yeah. And he should not be in the CC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I will send it to him.
I'm sure he'll send it.
Yeah. All right. I'll just carry on with the next question here, which is...
Okay, let me ask a question. You asked Mercedes versus rivals. What do you think the biggest rival for you is, especially in the EV space, right? These newer people are coming up, newer automakers. Do you think they stand a chance against a juggernaut, an established juggernaut, the oldest automaker in the world, like Mercedes-Benz?
Not only the oldest, but also we are a luxury brand. And I think there is a very clear strategy that we won't be in the race on volumes. One single statement, we have to be the most desirable brand. And to be the most desirable brand, you need desirable products, desirable services, desirable customer experiences. So we are clear that we will compete there, and maybe our rivals are the Ritz-Carlton there. Maybe the rivals is a separate set of consumer experience brands, but it's not something that we want to, get into just the volume as a single-minded focus.
Santosh, when is it, do you think, that you underwent failure personally? And then if you can say even as Mercedes.
No, so, in my stint in Nepal, I only spoke the positive, but there I also tried my stint to make my own automobile. A gas-powered three-wheeler, completely developed by me, produced by me. It sold like hotcakes because people wanted it. But then I should admit the product didn't live up to the expectation. And that's where I learned automotive business is not simple business. It is capital intensive. It needs a lot of R&D, design, research to make it happen. And then we say our specialization is in trading, in sales and marketing. And I'm actually happy when I look back, I learned this hard way much earlier in life. And then from those learnings, I'm able to do better now.
Right. So you're saying failure teaches more than success. It's a famous adage, but is it true?
100%. Can't agree more.
What is the quality that you look for in people when you're putting together a team? The team was telling me that you have a zero inbox philosophy. You're getting a lot done. Is it because you've created leaders? I'm not trying anything.
What's the power of the team?
One would. So, but what are the qualities you look for in people?
As I said, trust and other starts when you are working with team. But I still feel when you make a team, it's like a wardrobe. You cannot have everybody cloning you. Similar people like me across. Then they don't bring diversity of opinion. They don't bring diversity of thought. I keep saying it's like a wardrobe. You have the best suits. You also have the pajamas there, and you have the shorts also there. So a good team is a combination of people with diverse thoughts, diverse thinking, and respect that to start with. If I am having a zero inbox, everybody else should have a zero inbox. It can work. Doesn't mean I expect the others to do a zero inbox all the time. It's my way of functioning. See, you need to develop that trust and transparency to work efficiently.
Just yesterday, I was telling someone I need a clone of me, and I can't realize how wrong I was then.
The clone won't challenge you. He challenges you always.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's talk about Mercedes-Benz as a brand moving forward, right? In the traditional sense, a luxury car is a sedan, but the world's moving to SUVs. Is Mercedes-Benz now a multifaceted company where you're doing traditional luxury cars, you're doing SUVs, and then you're doing EVs? Or is there a sort of focus point where it's going to be one sort of amalgamation body style for everything?
As we move to electrification, currently we are very clear we will be there in all segments in terms of, because the purpose and the use cases are different. Even today, our largest selling car is the E-Class. We will be there in all the body styles. We'll continue to give product offerings. But when it comes to powertrain, we will shift all in on EV.
Right. So, but is that still your traditional market, like audience, the older gentlemen? Or are younger people, 25-year-old people buying their first luxury car, going straight to Mercedes-Benz?
It's the older people who think that they need some brands which may make them look younger. Some of our competitors have done a great job and give full credit to them to say we are A, B. But their core target group may not be the younger audience. It may be an older, matured audience who say, maybe by wearing this or by driving this, I may be looking different now. For us, it's a very matured audience because one, we are an expensive brand. We are luxury. We are on top of the lines. S-Class. Let me give an example. The average age is 38 years for a car like S-Class. So it's a much more younger profile of people who are buying. Average age is 38.
So 4 more years for me.
He can already get with all the VC funding that he must have got wherever he has got it.
If you can let me pick at least a scale model from there and take it home as a souvenir, that's a discussion for later.
No, it should be inspiration, not a souvenir.
A hard question again. Is there another automotive brand or another car, just a single model from any other manufacturer that has inspired you ever?
Yes, I have been growing up watching Schumacher driving Ferraris. So definitely that car, irrespective of particular model, I can say it's just inspiring. I had the privilege to drive one when I was somewhere in Europe. When it comes to the design, when it comes to the overall engineering, I still love it to see those cars.
So Formula One, then I guess. What are your thoughts on what's happening this season?
Well, I think it's again cyclic, but I am again a big fan of Toto Wolff. Even with the late Niki Lauda, he was really a great, inspiration to the entire team. So, and Toto will pull up something from his hats, and I think we have a strong season going in.
I must say, the last 2 Grand Prix that happened in India, I was a guest of you guys, Mercedes Benz. And
Again, you got those invites. Okay.
yeah, I did. I got to have breakfast with Niki Lauda. I got to have lunch with Nico Rosberg.
Wow.
And then dinner with Schumacher in one day. And I pinched myself at the end of the day.
Is this real? Huh? It's just not cars, the legacy.
Right.
And the DNA is very different.
So kind of a rhetoric question on this topic, but Cyrus has written it, so I'll ask it. Can we expect motorsports to be on the forefront of brand communications and ideologies?
So, we don't pick one vertical. As motorsports is in our DNA. We were born on the racetrack. But on the other side, we are also into different collaborations. Today, we just did a collaboration with Moncler, which is a luxury brand. We're very different, clutter breaking. If you see the Virgil Abloh, what we did with Louis Vuitton, it's something different. So I think we are really stretching the brand to different dimensions, trying to see what it can do, what we can reinvent ourselves.
Okay, right before rapid fire, one quick question. Customers who want to buy Mercedes, how are they made special when they walk into a Mercedes showroom, a dealership? Can you tell us the journey of customers?
You want a candid answer? I think there is still a lot of work to do. Because, the easiest thing for me is to say they are served this coffee beans, which are specifically curated for Mercedes-Benz. But what we find in India is our retail network is still growing up to luxury. We are now engaging with IIM Ahmedabad. We have a program with them only on luxury management. But we still feel there is a lot to do. So we are changing architecturally our showrooms and our workshops, because it's also important that we take care of him after he buys the car, not only when he is going to buy the car. Second, a lot of investment is on people. So if you ask me one thing which I tell our partners, invest on people, because people is what will differentiate us clearly. We have already taken the big step of taking away the negotiation. So the only reason why a customer should buy from partner A and not partner B is customer experience. Who is going to give me the better experience? So we are making our partners fight on experience, and their ratings will be transparent online. So customer can select which partner he wants to go.
You can begin with your rapid fire questions.
Okay, it's just looks or performance?
Performance.
Books or movies?
Movies.
Sachin or Sehwag?
I love Dhoni more.
Okay.
S-Class or the G-Class?
S-Class.
Cricket or
Sedan.
football?
Neither. Formula One.
SUV or sedan?
Cabriolet.
Oh, yes. I think we're so alike. Car or motorcycle?
Bikes. I started with Yamaha also in automotive.
This is very interesting.
The most interesting rapid fire ever round that we have had here. So I'm going to make this even more interesting. Cyrus or Rohan?
Wow, that's a tougher one, huh? Big fan, using a lot of cars. I'll still go with him a bit more.
I'm lost again.
And he was able to name all the cars here. I still have to give it to him, man.
Kudos.
I think what, we'll leave you with one final question. If you were to sort of assign one car from your portfolio to each of us, what would you give Rohan? What would you give?
He has got a lot of money by a lot of BT and hunting, a lot of stuff. Let him be on the S-Class, maybe a S-Class Maybach there, and maybe a C63 AMG, man. I think that's the best one. Sorry.
V8. Continuing with V8 or EV?
EVs.
Okay.
I think final, analog or digital?
Analog.
The last one though, here's my chance to claw back again. Talent or experience?
Okay, talent.
Thank you.
But he's as much talent as talent gets. Extremely glad that you could spare the time to meet us here today. Santosh, thank you for having us.
Thanks once again, both of you, for please joining us and coming here. Pleasure.